Hey guys, this is a general reading, but before I get into the reading or who it's for, I'm just going to say some quick messages real quick. Please keep in mind that these are general readings, so some, none, or all of this may apply. Energy is fluid, so this could have already happened, it could be happening now, it could happen in the future, it may not happen at all. Some, none, or all of this may apply. I can read it as you. It could be someone else close to you. I can read this as love. It can be career. Just apply it to your life as necessary. Don't make it fit if it doesn't. Okay? Thank you so much for those of you who have subscribed to the channel. So please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. I put out different types of videos. Also, for those of you who have inquired about donations and donated to the channel, it really means a lot to me for not only the reciprocity of energy, if this video has helped you and all of that, but just, you know, the give take of energy and everything like that. Also, for information on services, so whether donation, services, all of that, my information, PayPal information, email information, all my service information, well, most of it, I'll be updating it soon. Hopefully it will have, I'm in the middle of putting together a website, so I'll actually be able to move it over to there. But all that information is there. So please read all of it, including the disclaimer. Don't just stop at my email address and then email me. It just saves me time. I'm always willing to help somebody out, but if it's there, it saves me time. So please read all of it. But if you still have questions, obviously email me and I'll help you out. So donations, services, all of that information is in the description box below. Any decks that I'm using, I will pin as the top. I'll put the links to the, I'll put the links to the decks that you can get, so you know for sure which ones you're getting in the, it'll be a pinned comment in the top comment section below. Also, it's also a way to contribute to my channel. It's doing something you were already going to do and it costs you nothing extra. So if you like the deck, you already wanted the deck, you'll know exactly which one you're getting, and it's another way to help contribute to the channel, just as a way of showing gratitude at no extra cost to you, of course. So yeah, please like, share, and comment, subscribe, because between donations, between services, between liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, buying even decks through the links that I provide if you're called to them, there are all ways that help me along my healing journey, that help me heal and learn tools to learn for myself how to heal. To also then learn how to give back to others, because a lot of people, they really need help right now, and it's something that I really am being called to do. I have my master in Reiki, and so I already do that as a service, but I'll be starting to teach that in probably January or February of next year. I have 3 of my 4 shamanic directions of shamanic training done. And if everything goes according to plan in 2020, I will be doing plant spirit medicine, all of which I can either do in person or through distant healing. So it really helps with that, and I greatly appreciate it. I think that's it. Thank you for everything. And so we'll get on to the reading now. Okay. So this is the Pisces reading. It's a general reading for September 2019. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you're just drawn to this video, if you have significant Pisces in your chart, if you're cross-watching, maybe for another person or another sign. Also, for more of a complete picture, or if this doesn't resonate with you, check out my other videos that are either already out or coming out of your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, any that you're drawn to, significant placements in your chart, all that good stuff. Okay, so we'll get started on your reading. Hopefully this goes okay. I'm, attempting to do it for you guys because I feel kind of all over the place. I'm not totally grounded right now. But we'll see how this goes. It might either come out not as great, or it might come out actually better, because I'm not necessarily inhibiting it. Like, I'm more Maybe I'll be able to channel more is what I'm saying by having less restrictions, but we'll see how it goes. I feel kind of a similar energy, not necessarily maybe to your last reading, maybe it was the one before, where there was like almost like an anxiety and a revving up again, but it was all kind of contained within. I don't know if we'll see, because I literally, I can kind of guess, but not really. I really don't even know where this is going to go. And sometimes it works that way. And this is one of them. I don't know, and I won't know until I get channeling. But I don't know if this is like another, like you went back into a cycle, like you were in a cycle in the reading before last, and then in the last one you came out and started working out of it, and now you've gone back into it, meaning whether some of you, you know, if this is love, like this person or situation has kind of sidetracked you and got you off guard again. Maybe this isn't even relating to the last reading, but it seems like something may have got you off track. Whether it was actually them, like somebody or something, or whether or not like literally this is just in your own head, like your own patterns, which is probably very likely. So in the center of your reading, you have the Seven of Pentacles and then the Knight of Swords. And I really get with this mostly is that there's a lot of contemplating, a lot of thinking, sort of planning, but mostly a in your head type thing. And, you know, just really, like the only action that you're mostly taking is in the thought process, basically. Thoughts or planning, not really a whole lot of action per se. Because also, what's crowning is the Ace of Wands reversed. I'm sorry. Not what's crowning, what's crossing. I don't know what I said. What's crossing is the Wands, Ace of Wands reversed. So not taking action. So you're stalled basically. And I'm not even saying this is necessarily a bad thing. Like we'll see how it goes, but you're kind of in a period where you've gone within, or at the very least are thinking about something or working through something or looking at something. Because in the foundation of this reading, which is also I view as the subconscious as well, you have the Hanged Man, which is a Pisces card. I think you're trying to see something. Or, I mean, you know, it could be a sacrifice or being in a difficult position, but I get more like wanting or needing to see something. Maybe even about how to move forward in this new beginning. Something that could be lucrative and grow and be good, but I don't know if you're wanting things to be like normal or right again, or to some degree you might actually be trying to think about this and figure it out. And to some degree, some of you might have the tendency right now to be kind of in the daydream or whatever kind of world. And it's great and it's good and all, but it needs to be grounded. I'm not sure if you need to ground it. Probably. It's very easy for Pisces to, you know, go up and then stay there. And almost it's more enjoyable. It's it feels better. It's more fun. It's more the world they'd like to explore and all that. Sometimes it's hard to ground, and there's a balance that's needed in both. In your past, you have the 9 of Wands. So something that, you know, you're ready to go for, but, you know, you're definitely a little like weary. You're definitely a little like, I'm ready if I have to, but you still want to like sit and relax for a minute. Kind of gather yourself up. I think this might actually be too from the past, where it's like you were working on something and you were taking action on something. So I don't know if you kind of took a rest for a minute. And I think what it's urging you to, or at least what I'm seeing, is, you know, not to get lost in that. Because I don't know if it's me or just the energy I'm feeling right now, but there's a very big, like, being careful not to get lost in the energy that you're in right now, or really even get sidetracked from your goals. Don't get to... Remember, everything's about balance, right? Everything's about balance. So just as much as you want to shoot up, remember to also ground yourself. Like, you don't want to be, you don't want to be no earthly good. You know what I mean? In the crowning of this reading, you have the 2 of Swords. So, I needed to make a decision, but I get more like a stalemate, not doing much, just against in their thinking, but she's also like not seeing, could be using the intuition. I just get like very much like emotions, water, like just not a grounded energy. Like, maybe be weary of starting to become not grounded. I feel like in the last reading, I don't know if it was last month, but you were very grounded. You were doing good with being grounded. And this might be a cycle that's coming in where you, if you're not careful and seeing it and seeing your tendencies and how to reel yourself back in, you may be starting to get ungrounded again. But to clarify this, I have the Sun, or you have the Sun, whatever. I mean, for one, there's no work being done, but it's more like, I think you did a certain amount of work. I mean, I don't know about you. I have a lot of Pisces in my chart, and it's very easy for me, if I'm not cognizant of my thinking, to, unless there's something I absolutely have to do, to kind of slip back in and be doing something in my mind. And it's almost in a way like I feel like I'm doing something because of that, and it can like get me stuck or starting in this new looping pattern. So, you know, just make sure you're doing things, or writing on paper, or holding yourself accountable. Like, I have to do this and this and this every day, or, you know, writing on paper like what I'm doing or what my goals are, what actions will get me there. Am I still doing that? Yes, you can take a break and have leisure time, but this very much feels like an energy that you can get lost if you're not careful, is all I'm saying. In your likely future, you have the Queen of Wands with the Death card. So I feel like some of you, you know, you put an end to something and you start to take action and move forward. Tell me, oh, that's crazy. At the bottom of the deck, there's the Queen of Wands too. Yeah, like, I think you start to take action, and you know, responsibility, the discipline and all that, and you move forward where you need to go. and you start a new cycle. And when I asked, I wanted to know what brought you from your crowning energies to your likely future. And you have the Ace of Wands and the World card. This deck, what is this deck? Vision Quest Tarot, and then I'm using the Fantastical Creatures Tarot. The Green Witch Tarot, obviously the regular Rider-Waite, and there's a couple others that I'll use as oracles that I'm going to put the link, I don't know if I said it or not, the link to all the decks will be in the, it'll be the top pinned comment in the comment section, to where you know you're getting exactly the same deck if you like it, but also it's a way to help me and my channel out at no extra cost to you. So the links are there if you need them. But so what's bringing you from your crowning to your likely future is the Ace, which is funny because it's what's crossing you is that you have the Ace of Wands reversed, and now you have it upright and the World card. So something comes in that really moves you forward. And I don't know if it's just what you've been thinking of. I don't know if it's that your energy builds up enough to where it just pushes you forward. But something turns the Ace of Wands upside down. I think it's, you know, and something pushes you, whether it's some type of either competition or something within you, or honestly, the first thing I got was it's your own internal energies push you towards that. From, you know, sitting and thinking about it to just moving forward. How you see yourself, you have the Six of Wands, and you also have the Page of Cups, the Three of Wands, and the Devil card. I think you see yourself as for one, you're trying to be victorious. I don't know if some of you are like, you see yourself in the thinking and creating phase. And whatever it is, whether this is love or a relationship or whatever. Some of you, it's a relationship and you didn't see this properly. There's something you didn't see properly, and you will. But some of you, this is like a project or a creative venture or some energies within yourself. I feel like most of you, this is within yourself. And you're working on thinking something up to come in. And I don't know if you feel like you've done all you can do right now, and you're waiting for like the next phase to come in to work really hard on, or there is a chance too that there is a possibility that this is part of your cycle too, like I've worked, I'm thinking, I'm waiting for the next step. there's, you know, nothing I can do, and like your own cycles are popping back up. Like you feel like it's legitimate in what you're doing. And that's why I say I think on one hand, like it's okay and it's whatever, like if you rest and stuff, but there's a high likelihood here to get lost in the energy that you're in and kind of have to, I don't want to say start back over, but just make sure that you're not making excuses to yourself. Or even if you can't do more of one thing, maybe you could do more of something else. Like just don't totally stop, even if you have to rest for a minute or whatever. Because I feel like you feel like you may be on track. It's a very confusing, it's not confusing energy. It's like a, I think I had this one time for you guys before. Like, it's not grounded at all. It's out there in vast, almost nothingness in a way. I mean, it could be dream world. It could be just so floating away. You can't even see my hand, but away. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you're allowing yourself a break right now, which, like I said, is fine, because I think you have been working or doing something where you really started doing something. And just make sure you're tethered, you know, so you don't go too far away. And, you know, it's almost like I get this vibe, like when people, I don't know, on like spaceships or something like that, and they put themselves under, and to them it felt like a day, but they come back and it's been like years and years. Like it's almost like that. And I know you'll know time has gone by, but like things will get away from you, or you'll kind of just get lost in it. And I think with a lot of energy that's kind of like a Pisces energy, or even Taurus or something like that, you have to remember what you're doing and stay on it, because it's so easy for us to either get lost in like the dream world, or just become like relaxed and chill and forget how long we were doing it, or like maybe even forget of what our goals are or how important they are. Like we can really just get kind of just lost in that energy. And like I said, I think that you feel like you've done all you can do, and you're like waiting for the next step or something else to come in that you've either been waiting for, or, you know, what to do next, or blah, blah, blah. And there's a huge part of this here going on that you're starting possibly to dip into maybe old cycles. And this is probably one of your cycles also to work through, to stop, is the balance between, you know, dream world and you know, relaxation, and, you know, the whole Piscean energy that's very beneficial. I'm just really at a loss for words today, but you know, that dreaminess where you guys sit in that higher dimension. And like obviously your way of evolving would be to ground yourself. You know, if Pisces energies were to evolve, the first evolution, because it would be to your opposite sign, would be to ground yourself and become more practical and detail and work oriented. And it's easy. It's almost like a balloon, just, you know, going up to the sky. It's very easy to just get lost, and that's what I kind of feel like you're doing. We'll see. I could be wrong, but in your environment, You have the Ten of Wands. So I think you feel or felt a little burdened. It was a little too much. And that's probably why you gave yourself a break for a minute. It just was kind of like too much, you know? And you're like, I'm going to like set all these down and take a break. Again, excuse me, I feel like you either are lost in it or may have a tendency to, so be careful. How the environment sees you, whether it's nothing at all or whatever, or somebody in your environment is very burdened or has a lot of burdens or responsibilities and they're just like planted in that. Either or, you know, apply this as necessary. But how the environment sees you, whether it's a person or not, whatever it is, you have, it's kind of like 3 different stacks, but you have the Lovers, the 3 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Wands. And then you have the 2 of Cups, 4 of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Swords, and the Tower. I don't know if I can get all these in here. I don't really know what was overburdening you, or somebody else. Somebody else might have had a lot of responsibilities or options or choices or whatever. But when I really look at like this pile, the Lovers, the 3 of Pentacles, like something that you were either trying to create and had to make a decision about, something was really conflicting you, and that may be why you stepped away and took a break to like gather yourself and make a decision and see where you're going. Or some of you might have been like dating somebody and there was like too many people in the mix and a decision had to be made, whether it was you or somebody else. And I think that you're either cutting something away or you figure out a way to make it in a way where there is a level of more stability. Like, something just changed. Let's put it that way. Something that either you thought was going to be really good for you, really beneficial for you, or something that was really important, or some type of relation, either with yourself or someone else, or a situation and a foundation. It was something really strong. I'm sorry, I'm at a loss for words, but it changed. And there's like a new thought or communication came in, and that changed a lot of stuff. Like with the Tower, this is like yeah, an end to a cycle. And then under that is the 2 of Swords, which is where you're sitting now, and the Chariot, 2 of Cups. Like, what new beginning or path, or which way do I go? Like, there was too much too much variables and needing to make a decision, whether it's people, ideas, whatever. And like you're working on minimizing that and finding which one will be secure for you. Tell me about the Tower. Yeah. So I think the Tower in this is actually like a good thing or something to spend time on. Like, I think that your environment is viewing you as, which way do I go and what options do I minimize? Options, ideas, ventures, projects, relationships, whatever it is that is going to bring back, you know, stability back to my life, celebration back to my life, you know, just building and growth and strong foundation. And you're, you know, working on changing your actions and stuff to make that possible. And you get some type of idea or communication to do that. And, you know, the Tower in this case, I think, is just that change to be able to do that, to build you to, like, bring you to the 10 of Pentacles, which is something that's gathered over time. But some of you, this could be a family coming apart or changing, but I don't really get that. I think it's more of a change of idea or direction. Yeah, because even like this with like the Wheel of Fortune, like direction. I don't know. You might have some type of change of direction, because there was just a lot of variables, or it was just like the path was like not clear in a way. There was just too much, and I don't know if it was hard to ground yourself or if it was just unrealistic, or just some thoughts came in that was like, we've got to wipe this out. Like something just got wiped out and helped come in to redirect you. I don't know if it's a relationship for some of you, if it's just something within yourself, but I think it's also seeing really a part of yourself with the Two of Cups. So it could be a relationship, but I just get more like internally. Again, apply this as necessary. It's going to be different for everybody, but either way, something came in that made you see things. Like how you're standing here, this Three of Wands, how you see yourself is one of your cards, Three of Wands, like what you're waiting on. Like you feel like you've done everything and you're waiting on the next step. And it's almost like the next step or idea came in, and on which direction to go and how to expand. And it either moved you forward or had you change path or directions. Yeah, and things just change. I'm going to go off that. And your hopes, I'm sorry, yeah, what you hope for, you have the Page of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. So I feel like you want to keep learning, you want to keep developing, you want to keep growing. And you want to keep, like, you want to stay above board, and you want to keep anything away from you that maybe wants to stop you or pull you down. I don't know. I don't think this is just my energy. I think you guys are feeling very like pepped up, like you want to do stuff and excited and determined, but yet like lost at the same time. Because I just feel lost doing this reading. Like even though it's like I get it and I get the message, what's going on, like It's a very lost feeling. Also, there's a lot of duality going on here. You have a lot of duality in the cards. You know, Pisces is also a dualistic sign. So it's between like being happy and curious and growing, but also like needing to fight. It's like higher vibration, lower vibration. Maybe you wanting balance. I also think you want to know like what one direction to go, like all these other things that may not matter or be hindering you. You don't want to be affected by them or even deal with them anymore. Like you want to know the one direction and the one path, like whether it's like one person, one path, one idea. I don't think you really want the trouble anymore, or the back and forth anymore, or like the not knowing. I think you're starting to get tired. Well, I think you've been tired, but I think it's really starting to build up within you the stalemate that you're at. And you really want to do something with that. Like you're just kind of getting tired of this cycle. Because your fear is the Two of Wands. And I don't think you have a fear of making a decision necessarily to move forward. Like sort of, I think you want to make sure you pick the right one. But I get more of a vibe of you feel like you've already done what you need to do with the Three of Wands, and you're like waiting for your next thing to come in, and you fear that like that either might not come and you have to start all over and do something else, or actually like walking through it. Like, which way do I go? Like, I just want to be told which way to go. Like, what do I do? Which way do I go? I don't think you want to think about it. I think you just want to, like, be told what your options are. And, like, you go that way. Like, I get I don't want to make a decision. Like, you might have... Okay, so now it's like starting to come together where you feel like you have too many options. Whether this is people, whether this is career-wise, project-wise, whatever. Like, you just feel drowned by... Drowned? That's horrible. Drowned? I don't know. But you feel like there's just too much. And you kind of pull back or escape back a little bit because you start to feel really lost, or it's just like it's too much, you know, and which way do I go, or what do I do with it, or you start to become not grounded and just confused. However, in the likely future, in the likely outcome, you have the Judgment card. So you figure it out, like, you know, whether it's through guidance or realization or whatever. And I don't know if you figure it out. I think you figure it out just by taking action at something. Because it's, you know, when you stall your energy like that, especially for too long, like, a lot of times you just become more and more confused. Sometimes the best way to figure out which way to go is just by taking action, and then by trial and error, it guides you where you need to go. Because what guides you from your crowning to your likely future, which your likely future is the Queen of Wands and the Death card is the Ace of Wands, Ace of Fire in the world. So it's, maybe this is a big thing for you too, where one thing that makes you pull back in your shell and stop taking action is when you start to get into something and you start to create, and those creative juices start flowing. As Pisces is a very creative sign, and so many things start coming in and you're like, oh, that would be awesome, that would be awesome, that would be cool, that'd be a good idea, that'd be a good idea. And then you just become overwhelmed. Like, where do I start with that? I can't possibly do all that. Like, can I do all that? Which one do I pick? Which way do I go? Do I have the resources to do it? Can I do this? Do I have the time to do it? Will this work? It's almost like you're getting too much in your head and almost getting like analysis paralysis maybe. And you're kind of backing off. And I don't know if it's to try to decide which way to go. Like, I think this right here, and you're counting this sun, is also like enlightenment. Like, I do think you're kind of pulling back a little bit for enlightenment, like to see, like to try to see more. And I don't know if it's to decide or if it's just for the ones that aren't really good options to fall away. But the thing I'm mostly getting from this is, on one hand, this is slightly good for you, but not in the exact way you're doing it. Like, this is leading you back into a cycle of yours. So be careful with that. You know, just pick one thing and go with it, and build that, and see what comes, and see, like, do you get led to a different way? Or, you know, maybe once you perfect that, you could go to something else. I think you're losing your groundingness. There's just so many options that you like want to do them all, you know, and how do you ground them, basically, is what you're trying to figure out. Which way should I go, and how do I ground that? Because when you get in that, you know, like I said, like, Pisces are one of the more like creative signs, and they get a lot of thoughts and ideas and downloads. And I think once you start to hop into that creative energy, it's just like so many things probably come, and you're just like, why do I feel like I'm on like one side? Anyways, like how do you ground that into something, turning it into practical? Like, which way do you go? What details do you go with? Like, I guess basically, if I had to sum it up into the biggest thing, it's how do you ground the energies you're sitting in? Which is a huge lesson. I mean, for Pisces, like, I mean, it's one of your evolving lessons, would be to learn how to ground things and make them practical. You know what I mean? Like, in the practical 3D world. And some of you too, I mean, so apply this as necessary, but some of this is, you know, pertaining to people or love or whatever. And I think a lot of people are just kind of going in the past. They're being very nostalgic, just very much lost in the dreamland, whether it's creativity wise, love wise, or whatever. Some of you are really working through something too. And I don't know if this is just love or, you know, project or career, but you have trickery, you have service, discovery, completion, balance, and facade. So no matter what this pertains to, some of you may have been kind of deceived and given your all to some type of relationship or partnership or whatever. And, you know, it wasn't the best thing for you. What you wanted and needed out of it, it did not have, it didn't have the, It didn't have the ability to do that, basically. And that came to an end. And I don't know if there's something you see or realize about that. And there either became a balance to it in its completion, or there will be a balance, maybe even by throwing you off balance first, but you will realize, like, it wasn't you. And I mean, like, it wasn't what you would actually really want. And I don't know if part of you wanted it because of your inner child to bring something back, or because you lost your inner child and forgot who you were, and now you remember. And so either way, there's something about not seeing things correctly. If some of you, this is a person, like, you know, you have the discovery card and this person is about spirit showing you that, like, this person or situation never had the ability to love you as much as what you needed. Like, their job was to show you how much you can love. It's not that you weren't good enough, it's that they literally don't have the ability to love, or to love in the way that you do. But something that you once were doing and giving your all to, you were not seeing properly, and probably most of all not seeing properly within yourself. It was not able to give back to you the way that you thought it would or wanted it to, whatever it is. And now it's coming to an end, to bring you balance and to show you things also about yourself. And hopefully it bringing you to a place of realizing that it wasn't you, it wasn't what was best for you. And remembering who you are and your inner child and going after that. Like, as long as, basically, like, you have wisdom, you know, and wisdom is on the bottom of the deck, and wisdom is really about, you know, wisdom is knowing what's the difference between a calculated risk and, kind of, for lack of better words, just making a dumb move. And I think that's also what you're trying to do. I think you're trying to make a calculated, educated, you know, decision or risk on how to move forward. But it's almost like you're just overwhelmed by this energy. Like, you're, you know, on the bottom of the deck here, you know, you have moon. I mean, and this is what I feel. I feel just surrounded by just moon and confusion energy. Change, two of earth, like balancing which way do I go, what do I do, sun, like enlightenment, like picking one. Which is funny, actually, if you look at these cards lined up, like literally what's in between them. Like, here's the moon and here's the sun, and then in the two, here's the moon and the sun, and then underneath that you have, you know, the Eight of Swords, which is exactly how I feel right now, and the Six of Wands. Like, you're trapped. It says interference, so there could be interference. I don't know if there's some energies that are interfering on you, but you may want to do some cleansing, spiritual baths, whatever it is that you do. There's a lot of, like, my head is just really, I have a hard time seeing properly. I'm having a hard time thinking properly and speaking properly. Let's see. It's really actually kind of curious. I'm sorry if you guys weren't able to stick with me through this. This is a hard energy to sit in. But it's crazy, like, if you look. What? I'm trying to see, I mean, for some of you, it might actually be outside interference. But there's very much I feel this sometimes when I deal with Scorpio energy. So it could be Scorpio energy, and you do have Scorpio in your likely future. I've also felt it sometimes in the Pisces energy. Pisces can have it too. However, I will say in a lot of the readings I feel in the Pisces energy, a lot of them are based around Scorpio energy. So I don't know if some of you are also dealing with Scorpios, or if there's a lot of Scorpionic concepts going on. In September. Because there's almost like an illusion, and I don't know, that interference did stick out, so we'll see. I do think some of it is your own energies. Those of you who know how to clear energies, you may, I'm just saying, and I got the chills as I'm saying this, you may want to really do like clearing your energies, salt baths, there's many things you can find on the internet and YouTube to help you with this as well, but just stating your sovereignty, also getting to know your shadow is really good too. But like every time I think of something, there's something that makes me like, because there was something else I was going to say and it's making me forget it. I don't know if it's just, let me look at something. Well, Neptune's retrograde too. You have a lot of energy across from you as well. Like Venus, Mercury, the Sun, and Mars are all opposite you. Yeah, see, and even as, and this is like, so the Scorpio, but the Death card also as I'm shuffling. What? So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a Scorpio in your life. Some people it's going to be, but there's a lot of underworld and shadowy energies, and just protect yourself. That's what I was going to say. Like, protect yourself in many ways. Like, you can look it up with, like, herbs, prayers, saying, go with your guides, stones, crystals, your sovereignty. So I don't know if some of you literally actually have interference. I think it's probably both, but for some of you, it is more internally. And some of you might actually have external interference. But either way, there's something really like blinding me. Kind of like exactly like how she has here. This is kind of that same energy I was feeling before, where it was like, really make sure that you cleanse your energy. There's too much around you. Which might be why you're backing away. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think and feel. I remember it was like 2 or 3 readings ago where there was like so many energies and needing to clean the energy. And I was like feeling the same way as I am right now. Like it was affecting me in the same way. Where I couldn't really, that's what I was saying, is to, you know, make sure you really also use your intuition and your guides in this. So, like I said, I don't know if these are just energies right now, like astrologically, or for you to grow, or, you know, transformational type energies, and you have to go through something and deal with something, and in your subconscious, it's just very confusing, and you can get lost there. If this is, it's going to be different for everybody, but if you, some of you might just have a cycle that you're working through, but some of you might literally actually have some type of interference as well, or like manipulation. Because you have your also, like the lovers love each other, but it's reversed. And this is about taking action, like your relationship might need more action, but it's reversed. And then you have you are stronger than you think. Underneath that, you have seek the counsel of crystals. You are a peaceful being. Boundaries. Healing. Bells will ring. So yeah, some of you might actually have to, like, you might want to actually protect yourself and put up boundaries and do certain things. You do have the Fool energy here a lot. You have Sacred Fool. Like a new beginning. And it does say, you know, make sure you're going to take a risk anyways. You might as well take one that's in your benefit and a somewhat calculated risk. But make sure you're having fun when you're doing it, because you have a lot of energy around you. Like you have 28, 29. So there is like an ascension here, and you have growth at the bottom of this deck. I want to expand my consciousness and awareness. But you have a full energy, like some new beginning coming towards you. And you have the Joker's Wild, which is, it's like a wild card. Like it's a good thing to actually have for you. Like the universe is, it's almost like the universe is giving you a wild card. What do you choose to do with it? And they're there to help you out. So, you know, make sure you, I'm sorry, this isn't very flowy, but I'm trying to, it's hard for me to navigate this energy. Imagine a life free from concern about the opinions of others, a life where you feel brave enough, free enough, trusting enough to play the fool, to make a choice, even if it seems illogical, unreasonable, daring, or downright foolish. Cast aside sensible options and poker faces. The Sacred Fool invites you to live unafraid and take a risk and step away from the confines of what seems sensible and logical in life. So I do think there is wisdom. Like, so I guess the best way to put this, because on one hand it's like, oh, well, you know, wisdom is difference between acting foolish, taking a calculated risk. Like, have fun with it and take a chance and know that you have this like wild card here that the universe is helping you out with. The universe is pushing you in this energy and helping you out. But at the same time, like, don't go back and do things you've already done that didn't work out well for you. And that doesn't mean, oh, I took a chance, that's not going to work out well for me. No, like, you could still take a chance. Just take ones that seem like they could be good for you or beneficial to you, or basically just don't keep repeating things you've already done, like things in the past or something like that. Like, use this energy to move forward, go forward, look forward. Something like that, you know what I mean? Where you could still take a chance and it might seem illogical because now you're coming from a place of, you know, magical things or your inner child or whatever, the universe helping you out type thing. And some people might be like, that's crazy, but it's not, you know, in that way, taking a chance, but in something that you're passionate and you love to do versus something that just you've already done, it didn't work out for you, it sucks your soul dry, you know what I mean? Like, basically it makes you feel like this whole lost, confused, this interference type thing. Don't just stay here and get confused, and don't allow somebody else to confuse you if somebody else is doing this to you, whether they're actually doing it or just your past thoughts, nostalgia, or memory is doing it. You also have La Sirena. Do not get dizzy with the songs of the mermaid. Remember to honor loved ones and your past, but do not get swallowed up by the memories. Do not forget to live in the present and plan for the future, or you will be doomed to live in the shadows of others. Bear in mind the past shines brighter in your memories than reality ever can. Do not be deceived into falsely remembering what has come before. The saying, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, applies to time as well as space. Remain grounded in the present, not mirrored in the past or intoxicated with what could have been. A life lived fully in the present with a healthy reverence for the past and an optimistic eye on the future is the best balance. Do not let mermaid of remembrance beguile you. So there's something that I don't know what's interfering or what's hitting you in your subconscious that you're working through, whether it's just your pattern, your thought pattern, a hurt. But there's something, it's going to be different for everybody, but that you're working through. And your animal spirits, a lot of things here have about making sure you stay having fun. And you have a lot about assertiveness and perseverance as well. So make sure you stay persevering. But you have orca, whale, adventure. Dare to do things differently, like I was saying. Sing your wild song, manifest your travel dreams. Attempt the great journey with confidence. Be loyal. Friends and family are your treasures. Be brave. You are more powerful than you know. And then you have giraffe, visionary. Rise above earthly matters. Glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path. Stand tall in your self-worth. In love with a big heart. So this is also very like water and earth. So balance. But also to have fun and go with the flow. But when you need to, like, you can call on these energies as you need them. Like, call on giraffe energy if you need to rise you maybe out of the clouds or out of whatever it is that you need to see more clearly. You can also call on, like, eagle energy is great for that, to be able to see from a bigger picture. Like, even as I'm talking about it right now, it's like I can see more clearly. That whole constriction and fog in my brain is not so much. So I don't know what about September, and if it's September particularly, if it's just astrological placements, if it's just you're working through something. I don't know if somebody is doing something to mess with your mind, to interfere with you mentally, to where you're not seeing or thinking properly. Some of you, this is going to be internally and just something you're working through. Some of you, this is going to be external to you and internal, obviously. Somebody cannot affect you externally if you don't have something going on internally as well. Some of you, it might be a Scorpio. And here's the other thing too. When I first was laying your cards, it kept, laying them for, Pisces, September 2019, Pisces, September 2019. I kept almost trying to say Sagittarius instead of Pisces, and I'm not sure why. Then on the bottom of a deck over here, you have the Knight of Wands, and then in your likely future, you have the Queen of Wands. So I don't know if some of you are dealing with a Sagittarius, maybe Scorpio, Sag cusp. I don't know if you have Sagittarius somewhere in your chart. I know for my Sagittariuses that I read, you know, they're doing a lot to get out of a certain cycle themselves. So I don't really even know if that matters. But either way, you'll know more of what it means. I don't have to know what it means. I just know I kept, instead of saying Pisces, like my mind kept thinking every time I would say Pisces, Sagittarius. So I don't know. What is going on in Sagittarius? My throat's getting really itchy too, so there may be an issue that you're having of not only seeing clearly, but expressing your views and your beliefs, maybe even spirituality or whatever. Maybe you're having trouble expressing, but it doesn't matter. Like you'll know, or I don't know, but just try to stay playful during this time and know that it is going to get you where you need to go, because you have a lot of cards about being and staying playful. You have Sandpiper Spirit, be playful. I mean, there's more than this that was saying that. Koala Spirit, Spirit has a plan. You have Cat Spirit, claim your independence. So there's something that you'll be able to see or do that this, I feel like this is part of the process. Of helping you to see more clearly how to navigate these energies and what direction to go, and to see your plan or which way to go. And I think that's why in your likely outcome, like, you have the Judgment. I mean, you end up figuring it out and you end up getting out of this energy. So if some of you are getting swallowed in a certain energy, just know, like, I don't know how long, but you do come out of it. I mean, these energies might even be pushing you to help you take an action. It's a weird energy. It's like it's starting to clear up now, but I still don't fully know. There is some times where it gets really foggy and it really constricts on my thinking and what I can see and what I can feel. It's truly like confusion or moon energy or the underworld. And I don't know, I feel like I'm just going to keep repeating myself. Can you tell me? High Priestess, High Priest. Responsibility. Manifestation. Some of you also really need to work on, like, boundaries so that you're not absorbing the energies around you as well. Because, I don't know. Just, I don't know if it's always, I mean, I'm sure it's always, but I don't know if it's this month and that other month, which was like, I don't know, 2 readings ago or something. I don't know why those particular ones were harder to see. I don't know if you guys are really blocking your energy off. You guys are going to have to take responsibility into your hands of brewing what you want to do. Because if not, with where you're possibly sitting at in this, I'm just sitting back and thinking, and then you're just floating, like kind of that floaty-like thing of not being grounded or whatever. You're opening yourself up to interference. And you're opening yourself up to things, either you not manifesting what you want, or things like changing your path or this or that. Like, really start to hone in and discipline yourself and take responsibility for what it is you want to create, why you want to create it, and all of that. Like, don't let things come in the way. Kind of like how this, I think you want to pick a path and all of that, but I think you want to create and not have interference while you're trying to create, and you're trying to keep things, people, situations, whatever, away from you. There are going to be things, ideas, concept, people, whatever, interfering in what you're doing and your manifestation. And it's going to fully be up to you to put boundaries up, to take responsibility, to move forward. Face your responsibilities. Never use your power on a whim. Be careful what you wish for. Own up. Turn your priest for assistance. Why are you messing with me? Huh? I also feel for some of you that watch what you're calling in or working for, and that might be why you're trying to decide, like you've pulled back and trying to decide what it is that you really want. There's too many options and too many things going on, because you might have created or called something in, and now, like, either you don't know what to do with it, or it's not exactly what you wanted, or like there's some piece of information missing. And I don't know if you don't know how to go forward afterwards, or maybe when this thing comes in, it confuses you. Like, maybe that's another thing of the World card and the Ace of Wands is, you know, something comes in, some new beginning in the world, like something comes back around. So like I said, some of this is a career and whatever, some of this are like projects, some people, this is love. And try not to be too hard, like be playful about it. Don't go too back into your old wounds, but have your boundaries. Do what you need to do. This is very confusing. Charlotte, what are you doing? Whatever it is, though, that does happen or come in or that you call in, there is an ending to a cycle. I mean, you have the world all over the place. You have completion, the world. Like, you have a bunch of worlds. And it brings balance. Maybe that's what the confusion is, too, that I'm feeling, is kind of that switch afterwards, like after it comes, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm supposed to know a whole lot more. I feel like some of you, you're either blocking something off and trying to use your intuition, or like you just don't know what to do. You're seeking enlightenment on which way to go forward. And either way, you end up figuring it out. You end up figuring out what action to take, what way to go, what cycle to end, you know, whether something comes back or not. Like you figure it out. And I mean, this is so open, like it's so hard to like, I hope you guys know what I'm talking about, but I kind of do, but not fully. I feel like this is so open-ended in so many situations that it's going to be hard to like bring down more. All I know is to know that you will figure it out. There's a reason for this. It's leading you where you want to go. There is something you're not seeing properly, not only beforehand, but during it, that you will end up seeing. And even if you have to backtrack a little, whatever, it is going to put you in the direction you need to go. So don't let it lower your vibration. Don't let it, you know, confuse you. If you are confused for a minute, just ride it out and go with the process. Call in the animal spirits, either eagle or giraffe or whatever, to help you see more from a bigger picture. I just feel like either yourself or somebody is or does have the high possibility of confusing you. Yeah. It could be something that you've even like wanted for a while or thought of for a while. I don't think it's going to work out though the way that you think. And so I don't know if it confuses you when it comes or if it confuses you afterwards. Because it seems like something that you've thought over, you really wanted, and it does come in and it kind of confuses you. And then it starts to kind of play games with your mind and your emotions, and either you walk away and it's heartbreaking, or they walk away and it's heartbreaking. Yeah, it like goes back and forth for a little while, and then it just ends up done, and then it catapults you into like you seeing things clearly, what you really want, your independence and a new beginning, and you gaining strength and your value, and it ends a cycle. So just be careful when something does come in. I mean, have an open mind about it. Allow it to heal you. Be playful energy, whatever. Yeah, exactly. At the bottom, boundaries, like I was saying. Because you're going to have it for whatever this is coming in. I don't know. Some of you is going to be a person, some of you is going to be something else, a job or whatever. Because I do think it's something that you wanted, like maybe this Page of Cups is you offering to it, and like you're wanting and waiting for something that you've wanted for a long time, and this person might be the Six of Wands. Maybe they have a lot of attention, a lot of options, a lot of ego. Like they're just like, sit on a horse, like, look at me, it's all about me, like blah, blah, blah. And they might come in and just throw your world for a loop if you're, you know, which, and I'm not even going to say that that is a bad thing. It might need to happen to set you right. Like, be a necessary thing. Like how you have the Tower here. Two of Cups, Four of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Swords, Tower. Maybe this person or situation coming in is the interference. To either your victory or it's just saying they're the Six of Wands. Either way, it fits, because from the way it looks, there's a good likelihood that this person might actually affect your victory. I feel like it's meant to happen though. So don't feel bad about that. I think it's supposed to come in and help you see things and set things kind of right in your life, like balance you back out. And then kind of put you on the path and figure out the path you're supposed to go on. So, I mean, it ends up possible for you. Just try not to get swallowed up in the energy. Alright, I think I'm going to end that here because, you know, it's not letting me go more specific. And I don't think it's supposed to. It's going to be different for everybody, and this is just one of those, I don't know. You get what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Like, this is a hard energy to sit in. So I love you guys. I hope this helps you. I know it's very vague, but it's not supposed to be a specific energy. You guys will probably know more of what I'm talking about with it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. I put out different types of videos. If you're interested in, like, for donation information, for give take, or if this video has helped you, or for services, or for help with this, all of that's in the description box below. Again, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. So just keep going along. It does have a good outcome. I don't know if it's in September or after that or whatever, but chances are, I don't know if you guys will navigate these energies better than me, but it's meant to be either way. It's going to give you clarity. You're going to figure stuff out. You're going to see things about yourself, and you're going to know which way to go. So it ends up positive. So I love you guys. I'll be talking to you and seeing you soon. Sorry it's dark. I have to turn my light on. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.